Hello everyone, thank you for inviting me into your living room today. The title of this story is called Final Goodbye. It's a tribute to my father and my stepfather. My dad was a traditional father. He was successful in providing for the family, which is no small feat since I'm the youngest of 6 children. He was a man's man. He was in construction, and he had a fairly narrow view of the world, but he taught me everything I needed to know. He taught me important things like how to throw a baseball, how to hook a worm so I could go fishing, never to put my hands in my pockets when I was working, ever. That was very taboo. Never strike a woman, no matter what. He taught me things like how to build a doghouse and how to fix things that were broken. My dad and I got along really well. I loved him a lot. And he wanted me to follow in his footsteps and go into construction, but I had other plans, as a lot of sons often do. Nevertheless, I respected him for what he accomplished in life. Now, the last 3 months of his life were really rough. He had open heart surgery that really didn't go very well. He was living in Oregon at the time. I was living in Sacramento. So I would go up every weekend to visit him while he was having this crisis of health. And we'd talk about all kinds of things. When talking about my infant son one day, he said, "Doggone it, I had it all planned out. I was going to teach him how to go camping and fishing and hunting and how to build a fire." It was at that moment that I realized that he knew he wasn't going to make it out of the hospital. Nevertheless, I told him to keep his chin up and to keep fighting. On my next to last visit with him, I told him I loved him, and then I said, "I got to go, Dad. I'll see you later." And he looked over the top of his glasses like this, and he says, "You look good, Andy." Those were the last words he ever said to me. The following weekend, I went up. He was unconscious, and I watched him take his last breath. My stepfather, Kent, was the antithesis of my father. He was a college-educated man, and he encouraged me to go to college to broaden my perspectives. He was an accountant and a businessman who did property management. He was a world traveler, and he accepted liberal viewpoints far more readily than I ever did. He was a kind, thoughtful, and patient man. And he taught me the importance of keeping an open mind. And that was very critical to my emotional development at the time. He suggested that I pursue a career that would be satisfactory to me, rather than pursuing a career that most of the men in my family followed. He and my mother taught me to respect where I came from and to go to college to meet my desires for the plans that I had for myself rather than going into construction. A week or two before my stepfather died, I went to go see him when he was still alert. He had cancer. He was in hospice at my mom's house. I felt compelled to tell him how much he meant to me, that I loved him. And at that, he began to weep. And he told me how much he loved me too, and how thankful he was that he had the opportunity to meet my mom and my sisters. He and I never had a talk like that before, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that before he left us. Most people don't often get to say goodbye to their loved ones. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise, I don't know. But for me, it was an opportunity to have cherished memories. Thank you.